Hello, everybody. My name is Coach Ray Z, and welcome to Athletic Definition. This is episode, I believe, maybe 88. This past weekend, I got to watch it was called the Arnold Strongman Classic, and there was this girl named Chloe. I think her name was Brennaman, and to me, she stole the show. And let's see here. I don't know how the sound is here. My apologies, and thank you everybody for joining. So this competition had a little bit of everything, and I'll tell you why she stole the show. But it was like a 2-day event, and I didn't watch the first day, but they had like some squatting, and some guy squatted, I think, like a record of like 956 pounds, which is incredible. And then I don't know. I think it was like a 6-hour event total because you can YouTube it for free. I'll put the link up here, so if anybody wants to watch at least the 3-minute version of the main girl that I'm going to be talking about, she was impressive. And then on day 2, I saw a couple more different events. I saw one where they're like picking up just heavy like wooden box, and I believe you can't wear gloves because all their hands were like bleeding from the calluses they have from doing the bodybuilding training. And then I saw a couple of other events, but they had an event where you have to pick up a rock and then hold it on your shoulder and then hold another hand up, kind of like this. If for anyone watching, it kind of looks like the Heisman Trophy but higher with a giant heavy boulder. I don't remember the weight of that. And then they had the Dinnie Stone competition, and this competition had 3 women competitors. They also have the men competitors. I looked into it more and more. I know I've seen it, but I like to look into like different things if it's impressive. And this girl's performance was so impressive that I'm like, I'm going to look a little bit more. Sometimes you got to refresh it, especially this is in like a sport that's played over here a lot. Or I don't even know if it's a sport, but from what I looked into it originates from Scotland. And so there was 3 girls competing, and I'll tell you about the girls. One of them, her name was Donna Moore, and she was 5'7", 200 pounds. So she was like pretty muscular, and I'm like, I don't think I remember seeing this event in a long time. So I'm like, let's see if she can do it. And there's a time limit when you have to get it up. And she attempted it. And I believe she only tried it once. And then that was it. She didn't attempt it again. I'm sure it's exhausting. So these Dinnie Stones, they weigh 733 pounds combined. I can't remember. I looked it up, and now my assistant, Jamie iPad, lost it on the notes, but so they weigh 733 pounds. So I don't weigh 200 pounds, but I would like to think that if I did, I would have a shot at lifting that. For me, that's incredible. The way you have to try and pick them up is once in front of you and then once in back of you, and they're on these giant rings, and you can use straps or no straps. They'll still count it for you, and you can I guess you can hold it inverted or attempt to hold it inverted. As looking into it more and more, only I think 106 men have ever completed it. And then they break it down for the men. You can also walk with these giant Dinnie Stones. One's larger than the other. And then so the girl couldn't do it, and then the second girl attempted it, and this girl, her name was Rebecca Roberts, and they all seem to be like from the UK or Wales. Sorry if I wrote it down, and once again, the assistant, it's hard to get the lighting and the microphone assistance, which is pretty much me, to get it all right. And then she was 6'4", 320 pounds, and she was like upper body big, so I thought she had a shot. And she, I think, attempted a couple of times and she couldn't do it. And then this next girl that I mentioned, her name is Chloe Brennan, and she's 5'6" and 140 pounds. She weighs less than me, and she's shorter, or I don't know if that offends people now. Maybe I should say vertically challenged. She's 5'6", 140 pounds. And just to give people perspective, I'm like 6 foot tall and weigh about 165. So for me, she's like smaller than me and weighs less than me. And, she goes up there and she tries, and she does it with like no straps. And even the announcers admitted it after that, they were kind of like, after seeing the other two girls and them failing. And there was only a total of 3 girls in this competition, and they didn't even invite her to the competition. She asked to be in it, and so she goes up and she tries to lift the rocks, and she couldn't do it. She kind of like falls over, and then she had enough time, and she was willing to attempt again. So she goes, and I believe they put chalk on their hands, and then she got the chalk, and she walked up and gave it another shot, and she was able to lift 733 pounds, and I believe she is the 5th woman in history to ever do that. While I'm talking, I'll pull up so if you want to see it, it's like a 3-minute. You can, for those of you listening, you can also go to YouTube. It's by they make like weightlifting products. It's called Rogue. It's actually good quality. This is not a sponsored show by them or anything, but it's called Rogue, and you can go to a YouTube channel and look her up. And it's like a 3-minute clip of her like attempting it. Maybe way less than that, to be honest with you. But let's see here how the assistant does while I'm talking. And so I looked into it a little bit more, and yeah, let's see. The first woman to ever do it is in 1979, and her name was Jan Todd, and the note's gone. See, I'm gonna have to yell at the assistants again. But yes, you can YouTube it. It's on Rogue, or you can actually go to her. They don't show it like the whole complete thing on her Instagram, but whoever does her editing, or unless she's doing it, it's a pretty cool video. And Rogue did one as well on their Instagram. If you're more into Instagram and want to check it out on their page, but it's pretty impressive. I would recommend it. I think it stole the show as far as all the competition that I seen that day, and even the announcers were saying that they thought she stole it, and yeah, for a beat, like, to me, that's like a total Rocky Balboa. I love Rocky, but I love to see the underdog. They interviewed her after. It's on YouTube, but I think there was like multiple media there, and I seen an interview. She's the one who said she didn't get invited, but she had something to prove. And I got her email, so I'm gonna send her an email and I would love for her to come on. I'll send you this clip and be my guest and talk about that. That's like amazing, because if most men can't do it, it took 2 guys with like a big old, like, I think, metal stick in between the ring to move one rock, and she was able to lift both of them. Most people, I mean, yeah, first of all, a lot of it is genetics, but when you're 140 pounds and 5'6", that's a lot of technique and work and dedication. And I'm sure, you can get natural strength, but 733 pounds, I know she put in work. So yeah, that'd be great if you'd love to come on Fireside here and tell your story. And yeah, that was I think the highlight of the whole weekend, because I also saw the UFC fight, and that was kind of like disappointing compared to this girl who lifted 733 pounds and the Arnold Strongman Classic 2022. Let me see if I can refresh my notes and then pin it. That way you guys can see the clip. But it was amazing. And tomorrow I will be having Anel. She has quite a nice, interesting running story. She ran Boston Marathon, which you have to qualify for. I've never qualified for Boston. You have to qualify for with hitting a certain time, and it's pretty fast. So for my age group, I have not been able to qualify yet, but that's something I'm hoping to do. And so she'll be here tomorrow. Then she became a mom. She's a local right here from Los Angeles, and since I'm from LA, I love to tell the local story. And nope, the note is gone, even if I'm trying to use my assistant Jamie iPad. And Jamie iPad came because Joe Rogan has Jamie, and this is my Jamie version iPad. So if anybody actually saw or YouTubed it, let me know. You can leave a comment on the YouTube channel, or I think there's nothing else that lets you leave a comment besides, I think, my YouTube channel. Yeah. For all the new social media technology, I think that's the only one. Unless actually, I do have a Facebook. So yes, you can leave a comment on the Facebook. If you like, on Athletic Definition, let me know what you think. I think I actually posted it. If I didn't, I'll post it on there so you can see the video. Or as I mentioned, it's on free on YouTube. You can actually watch the whole strongman competition. It's like 6 hours long, but you can fast forward the parts, and it's the Dinnie Stone competition. The rocks combined weigh 733 pounds, and this girl, like, to me, a Rocky Balboa, because no one was, like what the announcers were saying, expecting nothing from her. When you they looked at the size and they judged the person on the size, and she came in and, work and technique, because you just can't lift 733 pounds. That's impressive. And the angle, and I wish I should have brought up the other rings, but with this new microphone, it picks up everything. So I'll make a racket, but kind of think of the Olympic rings, but metal, and you can't wear gloves. So they really bury into you. And, you could use straps, and they count it the same. The only difference that they have in the sport is, for men, they have an additional competition where you can walk. So it's to see how far you can walk with the rocks. And they have a club, and I think they have like a competition coming up. I think it's in Scotland where it originated, and it's been going on for 150 years. And they actually have different, I saw at least 3 competitions with rocks. So, I'm sure that those are the original weights. This was interesting, and I as I researched, and I have to start thinking about something else about fitness and where it originated from, and then I go deep diving into that. So I'll come back and share anything else once I researched that more. But as I mentioned, for today, that will be it. And tomorrow I will have my guest Anel Hernandez, local from LA, ran Boston Marathon, and now she's a mom, and you can see her still running, pushing. She's done races now, pushing her kids in a stroller. And every time I'm running a race, there's always a couple moms doing that. And when I say a race, I'm talking about a marathon. So it's 26.2 miles, and they're holding conversation. That's very impressive to do, to be able to, and they're having like normal conversation, like, oh yeah, so this Saturday I went here. As I'm running by, you hear a little bit of it, and that's very difficult to do. And then you're pushing the stroller, so that's impressive, always in the LA Marathon. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I will see you tomorrow. This has been Coach Ray Z, Athletic Definition, 6 p.m. tomorrow, Pacific Time Zone. Thank you.